What's up, man?
Not much. How you doing, Treg?
Bro, it's been a minute since we've done the Social Guys.
Has, in fact. I think I was here for the last one.
You were, yeah.
Yeah.
We actually just came out with the latest episode. So if you check into YouTube or Spotify, you'll see that episode sitting there. So this will be season 2, though, of the Social Guys. Actually,
Can't believe we made it this far. Congratulations.
I know.
I don't know why I said we. Good job. I hitched on at the last minute.
You hitched on to the last minute.
Excellent.
Actually, yeah, I came up to do the podcast tonight by myself, actually, and I found you sleeping on the couch.
Yep. I just didn't leave after the last
here.
podcast. I remained here. There's a couch over there off camera.
For 2 months. He didn't even go to work.
Yeah. Well, fuck that. They don't need me.
There's like bowls of cereal just left over in the side of the studio here.
Yeah. Let me tell you a little secret. Banks just run themselves. I don't really do anything. I was like, oh, is it time for another one?
Right. So, season 2 of the Social Guys. Collin Jarvis is going to be joining me as my co-host this season.
Hello.
So,
sorry about your luck.
So, for those of you who do not know Collin, though, Collin is a mortgage lender.
Correct. Really any kind of lender. We're a smaller bank. I wear a lot of hats. I work at Minster Bank here in Wapak. If you want to talk about a mortgage or a commercial loan, or if you want money for...
He's your guy.
Yeah, anything. I'm the guy.
So, and now my business has went through quite a change in the last 2 months.
Yeah.
So we've moved away from a couple people. Adam's no longer here, so he won't be on the show with us anymore. We have Candy Shook, though, who might stop in a little bit. Yep. Emma will still be part of the show during the winter and
Sounds
during
like
the
she's
summer.
Back next week.
Yeah. Emma comes back next week, so she'll be working with us again. And then she misses the podcast, of course, so she's going to be coming back on as well.
I'm excited to hear about all the college shenanigans. We're definitely going to ask about that.
Oh, man, I'm excited for that.
Yeah.
I'm excited for that because I know she has done none of those.
Yeah, no, 100%. She seems like a much better behaved person than you and I.
We're just going to have to ask her, so like, what did you see through your binoculars?
Yeah. All those people that you walk past on your way to the library that you were judging, how much fun did it look like they were having?
Touche to that.
Yeah.
So, hey, another thing, though, that we're going to do differently this season is actually we're marketing this show towards our region. So a lot of what we talk about, a lot of the events we talk about and trending events and stuff like that and current events, some will be local. Most will be probably national news and stuff like that and trending news. So, as always, we're going to try to keep it positive on this show. We don't like to talk about any negative type of news. We don't talk politics or any of that bullshit. So everything on the website's still true. I forgot to silence my phone. But, yeah.
I'm very mad at you. Thank God we're not showing a movie or something.
Premiere night.
Yeah.
So exciting stuff coming up here, though. So with that being said, let's get the show rolling. Roll it. All right. Welcome back to the Social Guys. So we just introduced you guys to Collin, told you about a couple of the new faces. Emma's coming back. Collin, though, for most of our viewers, we already went over that you're a mortgage lender. Tell us a little bit about you so that way everybody can kind of get to know you a little bit.
Well, I've been in a couple other episodes of The Social Guys, and you should watch those because they probably
love breweries.
They tell you way more. I do love breweries. As a matter of fact, I brought some beer. Yeah, speaking of, good segue, Trey. So I like beer, and so I brought the beer tonight, and I've already started drinking without Treg. That's on me, but he was slow getting up here.
That's true.
So we have.
I'm a workaholic. Nobody knows that yet, though.
It's true. It is true. We have one of my all-time favorite beers. Truly, one of my top 5 beer for sure.
This is a top 5 beer for you?
It's probably top 3. I fucking love this beer.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not a Great Lakes fan.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I don't know if I can do this podcast anymore.
The reason is though is because when my first Great Lakes venture, was the Christmas Ale.
Love the Christmas Ale.
And I thought it was the worst thing I've ever had. Now, that was also one of my very first craft beers moving away from my Busch Light. So I haven't revisited it.
That's a jump.
So
that's a jump. I like the Christmas Ale. I mean, we're going to be getting some. Probably some. I've just kind of deemed myself in charge of beer from now on.
Are you holding those hostage from me, or can I get one?
Well, after you said you don't like the Great Lakes anymore, I was like, do I want to be friends with this guy still? So this is from Great Lakes, one of my favorite breweries,
That's
probably
good.
top 3 brewery.
I like that.
And this is a marvelous beer. It's called the Edmund Fitzgerald. For those of you who have not had it, I highly recommend picking up a 6-pack.
I like that. I do like that.
Love it.
Yeah.
Huge fan. Great Lakes.
It doesn't taste like a porter.
It is porter. It says it's a pretty solid porter.
Yeah, I mean, do you feel like it has the porter? I don't know. Every time I hear porter, I'm always thinking, thick.
Well, different styles of beer, a style of beer doesn't mean that all the beers in the category are the same, and a style of beer is not something that's set in stone. A porter today is very different than a porter 30 years ago, which is very different than a porter 100 years ago.
Okay.
And every style of beer,
I guess that makes sense. I just never thought about it like that, but yeah.
It's true. Anyway, I think it's a pretty robust porter. It's one I like a lot. It's pretty friendly, though. We need to have Aaron Holtz to talk pretty about it. I just like beer, but it's one of my favorite beers by one of my favorite breweries.
Aaron he will come back to the show.
Excellent. I'll bet you money that he likes this beer a lot.
Oh, I'm sure he does.
And Edmund Fitzgerald, of course, is the name of a ship, a commercial vessel that went down in the Great Lakes during a winter storm, I think. And I just want you to know.
Really?
Yep. That's why there's a ship on the bottom.
Well, I mean, I get that, but I just do they name a lot of their beers like that?
No, I think there's a song even though about it.
I think you're right.
Yeah,
I think you're right.
Yep. So if I die unexpectedly, I'd really like somebody to name a kick-ass beer after me.
I will try.
Thanks.
I'll give it my best shot. So I rudely interrupted you. But
no,
ahead.
You're fine. I'm happy to talk. So I like beer. That is a major quality trait about me. And we're going to talk a lot about beer on the show for as long as I have anything to say about it.
I have no qualms about that.
I didn't think I was going to get a lot of pushback about it.
Yeah.
I'm now thinking we're trying Christmas ales, in a couple weeks for sure. But no, I'm not sure there's a lot else to know about me. I'm born and raised in Wapak. I only left to go to college. I went to Ohio State. Go Buckeyes.
Go Bucks. OH.
IO. And I enjoyed my time there, but I wanted very badly to come home.
We'll bring them up later.
I love... Okay. I mean, love and support forever, but I kind of don't want to talk about it. I don't know when you at home are watching or listening to this, but this is like 4 days after we lost to Michigan this year. Hopefully it's a lot farther in the future when you're watching this, and the pain has had time to subside for you.
Spirits are better.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I have a variety of hobbies. I like hanging out with my friends. Family in town. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah. And for those of you who are also new listeners, my name's Trey Rains. I own Rains Management Group here in Wapakoneta. I also own a company called Rains AP Films where we do, Rains AP Films has now moved into just wedding videography, where RMG, which is Rains Management Group, has taken over kind of the whole entire commercial side of things.
Right.
So, we basically deal with digital marketing for businesses, coaches, you name it. So if you're looking to save time and money and move to digital marketing, give us a call. So
they do an excellent job. I highly recommend them.
Yeah. So it's been a whirlwind of different things happening over the last 2 months, which is why Social Guys took a little bit of hiatus. Like I said, we went from we ended up with about 49 episodes last season. So our aim is 50 for every season. So we're gonna attempt to do the same this year for season 2. I'm trying to think. I feel like I'm missing something, but I'm not sure what.
I don't know what it'd be.
By the way, I did find your song though. It's called "The Wreck of Edmund Fitzgerald" by Gordon Lightfoot.
Yeah. Yep.
Never heard it, but
I mean, you play it if you want.
Nah.
Okay. I was gonna say it's okay. It's okay. It was really sad. Like all the people on the boat died. Yeah, I think it was like I'm not gonna lie to you. I know about it because they named the beer after it. Like legit, but like
this is good beer though. It really is
seriously,
good.
I'm not kidding. If I die, please. If I die unexpectedly, Aaron Holtz, please name a beer after me. Okay, I want to be remembered by
beer.
Yeah,
by beer. All right.
It's one of the 5 things in the world I really care about.
So to get season 2 kicked off here a little bit, we're gonna do ranking our top 10 video games of all time. Are you a video game guy?
There is a handful of them that I played the hell out of and could talk about very intelligently, but 10 is probably going to be pushing it for me. I probably got about 10 that I would.
Well, let's just try to do 10, and then we'll collaborate towards the end.
Got it.
All right.
I can do a solid 5 on my own for sure.
Okay. Let's start from the bottom and work our way up.
Okay. I can do more than 10 if I can count each individual Assassin's Creed game as a different game.
Sure. I don't care.
Okay. Yeah, I can do 10 for sure.
Okay. So I'll go first.
Okay.
And this is hard for me because I'm not a huge video game guy. I'm a big Madden guy. Mm-hmm. I like Madden. And I like, my brothers know this too. We'll have to get them on the show during Christmas or something maybe. But they always got on me because I'm a big stats guy.
Okay.
I like statistics, and I like things perfect. I'm very detail oriented, hence why I'm a videographer.
Yeah.
But so with that being said, though, when I get Madden, I will not start playing the actual game until like the season's like maybe halfway through.
Okay.
Like in the real NFL, because I want to make sure like everybody has what they wear.
Right.
And like I'm very particular about it. My brothers get on me all the time, but yeah. So but with that being said, though, if I had to go number 10 first, I would say my 10th best video game of all time. And it's hard to put of all time because I'm like I said.
Can we start at the top?
You want to start at the top? We'll start at the top.
Can we? Because like your favorites come to mind, and then you go to 10, and then you're like, okay, well, you got to know 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
That's
6.
true. That's true. Yeah, let's start at the top. You start at 1.
We start with the lead. Okay, number 1, hands down. It's not even close. Skyrim.
Okay.
Came out like 11 years ago. It is the greatest thing. That is like, it's one of the best things that's ever happened to me.
So
I love that video game.
what's so big about Skyrim?
It's the 5th Elder Scrolls game. I played a little bit of the 4th one after I played the 5th one. You don't really need to. It's like every fantasy nerd's dream because you can anything that you've ever seen in a fantasy movie or read in a fantasy book, you can do in this open world adventure game that's just got.
You can do anything you want.
Anything you want. Like if it's fantasy related, like if you've read about it or thought about it or seen it in a movie, I guarantee it's in there. Like name a thing, it's in there.
So what's the premise of the game?
The premise of the game there are a lot of different things to do too. It's an open world. I like an open world and a story. So you can go around and do all this different shit, and everybody can play it and do something else.
Okay.
You can have hundreds of hours of playtime.
Yeah.
The main quest line is 2 things. There's a civil war happening in this country. Skyrim is the country.
Okay.
There's a civil war happening that you obviously can.
Is this like based in like medieval times or something, or?
It's completely fictional.
Okay.
But I mean, it's kind of medieval-y. People use swords and bows and arrows and stuff and spells.
Okay. No guns or nothing?
No guns or nothing.
Okay.
You get pretty badass with the bow, though, and just drill people. There's a civil war, and then there's like dragons used to be a thing in the ancient past, but like they're kind of coming back now.
Yeah. And
your guys got to do something about it because they're fucking stuff up.
Okay. All right.
It's awesome.
My number 1 game of all time would be I liked the Mafia game.
I've heard good things about it.
Very fun. The best thing about it was it followed a very cool timeline of events. You really felt like you were part of a mafia gang. It was pretty cool, and I'm a big mafia buff. Like I love if there's a mafia movie out there, I've seen it. Guaranteed. Yep. So you can name any of them, and I guarantee you I've seen it. Mm-hmm. Probably something you've never even heard of. But I will say, though, with that game, though, it was so interactive. The best part was you got to create your player. Mm-hmm. And at the time when that game came out, like GTA and stuff was out and stuff like that, you couldn't really create a player. Like you were just set with whatever you had, right? So the part about this was it was an open world, but you could create what you look like and stuff like that.
Yep.
So I thought that was pretty cool.
It is cool.
So that was why it was a fun game, and it was all like older vehicles, like Ford models and stuff like that, and like the Tommy guns and stuff. Oh yeah, that stuff was cool. So
that stuff is cool.
Yeah. So that would be my top 1. Go ahead.
Well, I honestly, I'd struggle to come up with 10 video games. There's going to be at least a couple Assassin's Creed games in here.
I might end at 5.
Okay, my number 2 is Assassin's Creed 2.
Okay.
Did you play any of the Assassin's Creed games?
I played the first one, and the thing that jumped out to me about the first one was jumping into the hay things.
Yeah, you do the leap of faith. I think.
Yeah.
I didn't like the first one that much.
Really?
And I'm so happy that I bought like the first and second game like in this like Target
combo
package. It was
Yeah.
like I probably wouldn't have even played the second game if I didn't already own it and was like, well, and then I loved it. It's really cool. I like that. I'll limit myself to one Assassin's Creed game if we're going with 5. What I like about the series in general, though, is that I do like a story. I like the story. I like the historical element. Other than the assassins and Templars running around and killing each other over magic artifacts. Other than that part, they're incredibly historically accurate.
Really?
They spent a tremendous amount of time and effort making them historically accurate.
The only other one I played was it was based around like the Boston Tea Party and stuff.
That was Assassin's Creed 3. I liked it okay.
Yeah.
You probably shouldn't have stopped short there. There are a couple other real heavy hitters.
The only reason I played that one, though, so I played the first one, skipped the second, and I played that third one.
You played literally two of my least favorite 3.
Well, the reason I wanted to play the third one was because that part of history really intrigues me.
It's very historically accurate, other than the assassin guy running around. But they did make a real effort to make the cityscapes pretty
accurate
and to make the history pretty accurate.
That's interesting.
And
I didn't know
that
that.
really cool.
But yeah, I did like it though. So what was the second one? What was the premise of that one then?
It's because
the first one was like medieval, right?
The first one was one of the Crusades, maybe the second Crusade.
Okay, and then the third one was that era of redcoats,
American Revolution.
Yeah, American Revolution. Yep.
The second one, and there's actually in between Assassin's Creed 2 and 3, there's also Assassin's Creed Brotherhood and another one. And those 3 games are all about the same guy. It's like an Italian Renaissance area guy, Ezio Auditore, who his family gets killed, and then he kind of goes out for revenge against the Templars, but he's running around Renaissance Italy, and he's friends with Leonardo da Vinci, and he meets a bunch of other people, and he kills the Pope, and it's cool.
Okay, all right. So that's interesting. So,
maybe he kills the Pope in the second game. I don't remember.
So,
spoilers. Sorry,
but
we probably should have said that.
But that one is your favorite, though, the one where he walks around and kills the Pope.
It's that one. It's that one, or Black Flag is the pirate one. They're real close.
I wanted to play that one, but I never got to it. It's
pretty killer.
I will say though, it's funny that you brought this up though, because I literally was just experimenting with different games. I was trying out new games just the other day before I even came up with the production for this show tonight.
Play Skyrim.
I'm so scared to play stuff like that just because I feel like it's too much for me to handle.
We won't see you again for 6 months.
No, not like that. I for one, I can't get that involved into a game because I know I have other things to do.
Yeah.
But no, I feel like first off, I'm not a science fiction type of movie watcher either. Mm-hmm. So
it's fantasy, not science fiction.
Or sorry, fantasy. Yeah.
Which is fair.
Yeah,
which is fair. I'm way into it.
Yeah,
and it might not be for you.
So it's hard for me to get sucked in on those type of games.
Right.
Like Halo, I played the very first Halo when it came out, and then after that they're like, oh, we got another one. I was like, I can't handle another one.
Yeah, I can't even handle one. I'm less science fiction. I'm not nuts about shooters either.
Yeah.
I played one of the Call of Duty games and it was all right, but then I got bored pretty fast.
I'm not gonna lie, I got into Call of Duty really heavy in high school.
Did you?
I think everybody did though.
Well, what's your number 2?
So my
I'm
number
derailing it. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. My number 2 would be extremely controversial, just because a lot of people feel like it doesn't change very much.
Well, who cares? It's your favorite.
But
Favorite.
My second favorite game would have to be Madden.
Really?
Yeah, any of them. First off, and you know this, I'm a huge football fan. I'm a football fanatic.
Yep.
I sports bet. We'll talk about that on the show throughout this season too, or what's left of it anyway. And then it would have to be Madden for me. I get very involved with Madden.
Got it. Fair enough. That's very fair.
Yeah. What about you? Number 3.
Number 3. Number 3 would probably be. I said I wasn't doing any more Assassin's Creed games.
I said I wouldn't do it.
I would say, honestly, probably Grand Theft Auto. I like it.
Yeah.
5. I only ever played 5.
Okay. Which is the last one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like games that
5 was
have.
good.
I like games that have a real story. I just like a free for all shooter.
Yeah.
I get bored fast.
Yeah.
I kind of like playing like story mode alone. Like I don't want like some 12-year-old running around and like trying to like teabag me while I'm like trying to do the story. I remember that from Call of Duty.
Speaking of that, there's a viral TikTok video going around right now of a guy playing like Call of Duty or something like that. You know, it's one of those type of army or military games.
3-year-olds lighting them up,
dude. Like you just like there's like shit talking going on, and like all of a sudden it sounds like I'm not even joking. This kid sounds like he's 4.
Yeah,
and he just goes, "My mom's dead," and he goes, "Oh man," he's like, "I'm sorry. Like when did that happen?" He's like a couple weeks ago, and he's like, and the guy's like, "Dude, I
was just trying to play Fortnite."
He's like, "I am so sorry, man." And he goes, it's okay. He's like, I'm coping. And he was just like, dude, he's like, man, this game just got real heavy. He's like, well, I'm sorry, kid. And he walks up behind him and just shoots him in the head.
That's pretty good.
It's like, jeez. Took a turn.
Yeah.
But yeah,
it's got a pretty decent story. It's a big open world. It held my attention for a while.
Yeah, and you actually have 3 different storylines there.
Yep.
So, and then it merges towards the end. But
yeah.
No, I would agree. I'm going to go back to my roots a little bit here. I hate to say it like that because it makes me feel old. Game. But no. I kind of grouped all the Maddens in one there. But no, I'm going to kind of go older. I'm a GTA fan too, but I grew up playing Vice City, and Vice City was, that was king shit then, you know, and especially you were like, it was Miami, you had the Stingrays, and it was, they made that game fun.
Were you like a Miami drug lord?
You were, yeah.
Cool. Okay.
It goes back to the mafia feel, you know, for me.
Okay.
So like, I thought that was super cool though. The cool part about Vice City though was you had, I wish they would start doing this more, but you had a choice to, buy the mansion with girls all over the place and hot tubs and pools.
Sold.
Yeah, it was just such a fun game. So I would say Vice City would be my 3rd.
Okay. Solid.
I can't stop sipping this beer. This beer's really good.
I really like it. I did drink one before you got up here, so you can have another one anytime you want.
It's good. It's good beer. I like it. Edmund Fitzgerald, Great Lakes.
Big fan. Big fan of Great Lakes just in general.
Yeah.
Please, God, if anyone watching this works for Great Lakes, send us beer. Like,
yeah.
I'll drink it.
No kidding.
I'm going to drink it anyway, but I'd be thrilled to get it for free. Number 4, probably Red Dead Redemption.
Oh, I forgot
which
about
I think
that
is the same people that make Rockstar.
Yeah, Rockstar
that
Games. Yeah, GTA. Yeah.
It's like GTA except cowboys, but once again, there's a pretty decent story. It's one person. It held my attention for a while. Big open world.
Yeah.
That's my theme. That's the games I like.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. That was
Cowboys. It was cool.
No, Red Dead is really cool. The storyline of that one's great as well. I'd almost have to agree with you. I'm going to go Red Dead Redemption also for number 4 for me.
Really? That's interesting. It's our only overlap, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I liked it. It's a different time era. It's the world on that's huge. Mm-hmm. It's massive.
It's small. Fun. It's smaller than Skyrim. I think it's smaller than GTA 5. I bet it is.
I don't know.
I'd be willing to bet money. I know that there are nerds on the internet who calculate that.
You talking about Red Dead 2 or Red Dead 1?
1.
Red Dead 2 is pretty big.
I was talking about 1.
Okay. Well, I'm going Red Dead 2 for number 4.
Okay. I played the second one and I liked it.
Yeah.
I think I liked the first one better.
Do you?
Up until, spoiler alert, up until the point where John Marston dies, because like his son is like the character after that.
Sure.
And that guy's a little bitch.
Yeah.
He had a very annoying voice. Whoever the voice actor was for that was bad. And
James Marsden. I don't know who it was. But.
I don't either.
So, go ahead. Then you take away number 5.
Number 5, a game called Dishonored, which I think is another Bethesda game.
That's a military game, right?
It's not. No.
No. Okay.
Well, I mean, the guy's a soldier, but
I'm thinking
like
Medal of Honor.
Yeah. it's kind of like it's not open. It's not open world. It's not an open world game.
Yeah.
But but the levels are kind of big, and you can kind of run around and do different stuff there, and you can make choices about how you do different things, and it affects the world, and I kind of like it.
That's interesting.
It's kind of steampunky. I wouldn't go so far as to say fantasy, but it's kind of steampunky, and there's a little bit of a kind of dark magic element to it. It's pretty far behind like a Skyrim or like an Assassin's Creed for me, but it's my fifth. It's my fifth. I had fun playing it. I felt like I got a real taste of getting to go around and like do different things my own way, even if it wasn't quite as big and open as I'd like as my very favorite games are.
Have you? And this is a little bit off topic. I'm coming off the list here a little bit, but have you played the game where you are Jason and you walk around and kill people?
No.
It looks pretty sweet. I haven't played it yet, but I've seen people play it. It looks pretty fun.
I've not played it. I have not.
Because you play Jason. You're Jason.
I've not played a lot of games that we've not talked about right now. I'm a nerd, but I didn't really start playing video games until I was like 15, 16. Like we had a GameCube before that, but we played like Mario Party and we played Need for Speed Hot Pursuit 2, which is fucking awesome.
Yeah.
But like.
Yeah. I remember another fun game that I played growing up was Stuntman.
Never even heard of it.
That was pretty cool. Or Stunt Driver, I think it was something like that. My number 5, though, would be a game that I recently played all the way through. I loved it. It was fun. Mainly it's because who doesn't want to be a shark? So it was a game called Maneater.
Okay.
And you legit you start as like a little shark, like a small baby shark, and you start in like this like.
It's like a joke.
No, it's a real game.
Okay.
It's fun. It's really fun.
Okay.
Because it's an open world.
Okay. Well, the ocean.
Yeah, but
really open world.
But you go into different sections of the ocean. So like you as you progress and get bigger, you need bigger areas, right? So like you start as like this little like bull shark.
Ocean's pretty big.
But you start like as this bull shark in like this like saltwater swamp, basically, right?
Okay.
So where you can get attacked by alligators and stuff like that, and it's pretty like huge alligators.
I don't think that sharks live in a swamp.
It's not really a swamp. It's hard to. It's like a river type thing that feeds into the ocean.
Okay.
It's basically what it is.
I'm picturing it.
Yeah. So, but I mean, there's alligators out there that like try to kill you and stuff.
You got to fight alligators.
Yeah. So as you get bigger, though, then you like break through the sewer system and you make your way into the ocean.
Okay.
Or it's like a pipe that feeds into the ocean.
Okay. All right. All right. I'm here for it.
Yeah. You swim through that or whatever, and you make it to the ocean, and then you have such an array now of things to eat and stuff like that. There's people now to eat, but then there's people after you, almost like Jaws type deal.
I was going to say, is this just Jaws from the point of view of the shark?
Yeah, pretty much. Except for there used to be a game though.
Except the shark wins. Really?
There used to be a game called Jaws. Actually, there was 2. There was one that came out early on for Super Nintendo or Sega Genesis. I can't remember which one. And that one was very one-dimensional. But and then you had another one though where you actually were Jaws and you were like trapped in SeaWorld and had to break out and stuff. And I don't remember how that one actually ended or anything like that, but I just remember you had to like kill like Shamus.
He just jumps out of it.
Yeah.
Shit. Look, I don't play video games for realism any more than anybody else does. But like, what they came up with was that all the scene in between the shark and freaking Shamu.
Oh yeah, because there's Shamu.
If we just kill this fucking whale, we can get out of here.
Well, there's more to it than that. But you had to kill the whale though, because the whale would kill you.
Okay.
But no, it was a different game. But Maneater was pretty good though. I do suggest that if you like open world stuff,
I'm gonna have to find this now.
Oh yeah,
I've never really thought about being a shark before. It's not something I've put any thought into.
Yeah, and it gets into a little bit.
If you like being a shark, how would I know?
Yeah. But like it gets a little bit more far fetched though. Like there's
well, whatever. I don't play video games for realism. That's true. That's just very, very different from anything I'd ever even heard of.
Sure. Okay. So like in Maneater though, like you get to a point to where like your shark gets so big, and then you can start adding armor to it, and like
cool.
Like
now you're talking my language.
And then you like
that sounds like Skyrim.
And then there's different levels of like evolution that you can change with your shark. So like then you can start to change like its teeth pattern. You can change. Oh, dude, it's insane. You can change. So, like, there's 3 different types of evolution. So you either go the route of like this, like mechanical shark, like a best way to explain it would be like a RoboCop shark almost. Okay. Or you can go the route of like a prehistoric shark, and you're like you have all this like
the like megalodon thing.
No, there's like rocks like mounted to your body, like for your armor and stuff.
Okay.
And then there's the electric shark, which is pretty
I'll take
interesting.
the electric shark.
It's pretty. That's a pretty.
I think this is called an electric eel.
Yeah, except for it's way bigger.
Except it's a shark.
So, like, and the thing is, though, like your shark can grow massive. I mean, you can create a megalodon in this game.
That's cool.
So
I'm here for it.
And you start like you start.
I'm gonna have to find out more about this.
Oh, you will. You will. So, what game system do you usually play on?
I own an Xbox.
Okay, so do you have like Game Pass or anything?
No.
It's on Game Pass for free.
Okay.
So.
I don't have a Game Pass. I don't think I even have Xbox like Gold or Live anymore.
Well, here's the nice thing though.
I don't play games.
You can pay for you can. I think you can if you don't have Game Pass. I believe you can buy Maneater for $10. Mm-hmm. So it's a cheap game, but it's
plus
fun.
I don't think Game Pass is that expensive.
No, Game Pass is only like $9 a month or something like that.
Yeah,
$10 a month, something. So
it's pretty cool. That's hilarious. If you like being a shark, I don't know how I know that. That's pretty cool. All right, I'm here for it.
And it goes back to like those Spider-Man games though.
I didn't play those.
It's kind of cool going around an open city being Spider-Man.
They're my like favorite Marvel movies. That'd be badass.
Yeah. Speaking of, that gets us into some current events, but we're not going to get into those yet.
Okay.
I got another. We got another.
Okay.
Segment that we're going into here.
Lay it on me. I'm ready.
Thanksgiving Day. So we just got done with Thanksgiving.
Absolutely.
So we're going to do a Thanksgiving Day food draft. So I get 5 picks. You get 5 picks. So.
Like when I pick one, you can't pick it then?
Correct.
Oof.
Correct.
Okay.
So your top 5 of all time. We're going with your first pick in the 2022 Thanksgiving Day food draft.
You can go first if you want. I did the first video game.
Okay, all right. That's fair. It's fair. All right. My first pick is going to be green bean casserole.
Okay.
That's my first pick.
It's all you.
I love it. Mashed
potatoes.
That's a solid pick.
Yep.
Solid pick. Second pick of the draft for me, I'm going to go deviled eggs.
You can just have the whole. We're cool. I mean, I like both of the things that you said so far. I love both those things.
Yeah.
I ate both those things with a smile on my face this Thanksgiving. But like, I can tell you, they weren't coming close to my top 5.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I live for deviled eggs on Thanksgiving Day.
I'll fucking make you some. Okay, well that's great. I'm gonna take mac and cheese.
That's a fair one. I just feel like mac and cheese is overdone all the time.
I'm just going to carbo load. Well, you and your eggs can have whatever fun you want.
All right.
I'm going to have a big old scoop of mashed potatoes. I'm going to have a big old scoop of mac and cheese. I might even get separate plates for them.
My third pick then for the draft is I'm going for the big gun here.
The turkey?
The turkey.
All right. That's fair. That's fair. I understand that.
And more specifically, the turkey legs.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
That's fair. I won't take any turkey. I'm actually not nuts about ham, though. I'll eat it, but I'd prefer a turkey, but that's been taken. So I'm going to go with the Thanksgiving beer can chicken.
Okay.
Which is 100% something I've eaten on Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
So we're on pick 4 now, right?
Yes.
Fourth pick.
We're both 3 in.
Fourth pick of the draft. I am going with pumpkin pie.
Other than the turkey, I really don't need any of the only kind of pie that I don't like is pumpkin.
I feel like that's a staple though at Thanksgiving dinners.
It is, and I'm always unhappy about it.
So you're saying I could have gone pumpkin pie fifth?
I'm not even a picky eater. I'm really not. I just literally the only kind of pie I don't like. It's the only one that's not. I don't know. Maybe a pumpkin's technically a fruit, but it's weird.
It's fair. It's fair.
It's fair. I wasn't thinking desserts though. That's legit. I'm gonna go cherry pie then.
Okay. Never had a cherry pie at Thanksgiving. Not gonna lie. It's just always pumpkin right there.
We always have multiple pies at every.
Do you?
Yeah. So every Christmas and Thanksgiving, there's probably pumpkin at both, cherry at both, apple at both, probably peanut butter at both. I don't think we had
peanut butter pie.
Yep.
Never had a peanut butter pie. That sounds amazing though.
Yeah, you're fucking out. Peaches sometimes at either, pecan is sometimes at either, blueberry sometimes at either.
Oh, we did have a pecan pie this year.
Yeah.
I'm just not a pecan fan. It's too sweet for me.
I bet we've got at least 3 different kinds of pie at every family gathering.
I'm coming to your next thing. I'm coming to your house next thing.
I didn't get to be this big on accident, man.
Same.
Cherry pie. I like where your head's at. I wasn't thinking dessert. Cherry pie.
Yeah. All right, 5th overall pick then. I got to make this a good one. I feel like I got to cross into your world here.
I like my plate already a little bit.
Yeah. So I'm going with, man, I don't want to go another casserole, but there's so many to choose from, I feel like.
It's true.
I'm sure people right now that are like watching this are like, oh, why are you not picking? Oh, you know what? I know what I'm going with. Stuffing.
I was thinking about that. I'm like,
I can't believe I made it to 5th pick with stuffing not taken off the board.
I was thinking about taking stuffing. And I like stuffing, and thank Jesus Christ that my grandmother's never going to see this. She doesn't know how a podcast works. Because I'm going to just level with you and say that the stuffing's just okay. You know, don't tell her.
Yeah.
Yeah. If she asks, tell her that was my number one. Man, I already like my plate pretty well. And I probably would have taken stuffing right there, honestly. So... Damn. Well, this is when I start like trying to throw a deviled egg or like green bean casserole on my plate. I'm serious. Like this is
that's the last pick for you. Yeah.
Salad. I can do salad. There's always which is probably got way too much dressing to be a health food at all. But I do always put there's always a salad. I think my aunt makes it. I put a little scoop of that right on there.
Nice. Okay. I tried my own dressing last night that I created, or not. I didn't create it. I made it. I saw it on TikTok, and I was like, "Oh, I'll try that. It looks pretty good." The TikTok said, "If you like ranch, you'll love this." Sold. So,
is it ranch with extra ranch or like a?
No, it was like a green pasty type of dressing. Okay, but what was in it was, and I added 2 extra things because I didn't have one of the things. I didn't have green peppers, so I added cucumbers and some jalapenos. So I put this all into a blender, and then I added jalapenos, cucumbers, spinach, like a handful of spinach, handful of dill, like fresh dill, handful of chives, fresh chives, olive oil, salt, a third of a tablespoon or a third of a cup of nutritional yeast flakes, and then what else was there? Oh, and then a shallot, like half of a shallot, and then 3 garlic cloves, and you blend that all together. It had a similarity to ranch. Definitely not fucking ranch. Definitely not ranch.
You can make it a little creamier. I feel like you need to throw like half an avocado in there.
I don't think it would have helped.
Really?
No, the taste was just not there. Yeah, I'll take another one. The taste was just not there for me. Don't get me wrong. It was bearable, but it wasn't good.
Okay.
It wasn't ranch.
That was a lot of build up too. I didn't like it very much.
I didn't like it very much.
If you do this and this, and you do this too, and maybe you do a little bit of that, and then you do that all together, I think you're not going to like it very much at
all. Well, for anybody who wants to try it out there, you have the recipe now.
All right.
And there was also lemon juice in it.
Okay.
So, but yeah, it just wasn't. It did not meet my standards for ranch.
Okay.
At all. So, wasn't good. But now, so we both did our 5th picks here. So the draft's over, but you get 1 honorable mention.
Can it be something on your list, or do I need another new thing?
Another new thing.
Well, it's your turn, I think.
Is it? Okay. I'm going to go the cranberry sauce. What's stuffing without the cranberry sauce on
Gravy.
top? Yeah. It'll match.
We're counting that. We're counting that. I'm fucking counting that.
It'll
Gravy.
match your mashed potatoes.
Yep.
All right. That was our draft.
My mashed potatoes, I'll put that on all 5 fucking things. Maybe not the cherry pie, but I bet I could do it and be happy.
All right. Let's get into some current events now. Got some things here happening around the world. So Samuel L. Jackson recently, you know who Samuel L. Jackson is, right?
Yes.
Have
you seen Ted?
Oh, yeah. I love Ted.
I always thought it was just okay, but my favorite line from that was like, he's trying to explain Samuel L. Jackson. He's like, have you seen any movie ever? He's the black guy.
That's kind of accurate.
He's in everything.
He is in everything. So,
yeah, I know Samuel L. Jackson.
Samuel L. Jackson, though, he addresses Quentin Tarantino's criticism of superhero films. So recently, Quentin Tarantino, you know Quentin Tarantino,
yeah,
famous director, right? What was the one movie I remember him? Dusk of Dawn, or
I never saw it.
Dawn of the Dusk, something like that.
I only saw a couple of his.
He was with Clooney. They were vampire hunters.
Only movie of his I really liked was Inglourious Bastards. That's Tarantino, right?
No.
Not?
No.
Okay, well, hey, I guess I'm not a Tarantino fan. I think it is.
I think you might be right.
I think you should.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? It was. I was thinking the guy who played the Bear Jew was the producer of that movie, though, and assistant director.
Yeah.
Yeah. I forget his name.
Me too.
But
I'm pretty sure it's Tarantino. But
I think you're right.
I've seen some others.
Yeah, I think you're right.
But it's the one I like.
Yeah. So during an appearance on ABC's The View, Samuel L. Jackson shared his thoughts on Quentin Tarantino's recent criticism of superhero films. So recently, though, what happened was, for everybody out there, Quentin Tarantino said that Marvel's movies have killed the movie industry as far as creative and dramatic movies.
They're pretty dramatic for me. Yeah.
They're not bad. I get his point, though. He's coming from the artistic ability of being able to build from nothing, where these are comic books that are being turned into movies.
Which is fair enough, I suppose, but they still involve an incredible amount of artistic work and effort, and nobody's keeping him from making his movies.
I agree.
And
I just said I get where he's coming from.
And well, fuck him. because people have a right to go watch whatever movies they want.
I agree.
People get all uppity about the awards and like whether or not they're artistic or not, and then we go watch the new Marvel movie and it makes like $1 billion, and their movies make like $20 and a handshake. Like, you keep talking about the art all you want. Like,
so here's you want to hear what he said, though?
I guess, but
I'm
already unhappy.
Let me just say it, okay? So, and then you can kind of take from this what you want. So on last week's episode of Tom Segura's Two Bears, One Cave podcast, Tarantino blamed Marvel's reign atop Hollywood for the decline in traditional movie stars. Part of the Marvelization of Hollywood is, this is his quote, You have all these actors who have become famous playing these characters, Tarantino said, but they're not movie stars, right? Captain America is a star, or Thor is a star. I mean, I'm not the first person to say that. I think that it's been said a zillion times, but it's like, it's these franchise characters that become a star. So that's what he said. Jackson came on The View, and Jackson said, it takes an actor to be those particular characters.
Yeah.
And the sign of movie stardom has always been what assesses and seats. What are we talking about here, people? So it's not a big controversy for me to know that. Well, apparently these actors are movie stars, he added. Chadwick Boseman is Black Panther. You can't refute that, and he's a movie star.
Yep. That's such a... I agree with Sam Jackson entirely. It's like saying that Harrison Ford's not a movie star. Indiana Jones is a movie star. Well, no, fucking okay. What's your point, man?
I get that. Yeah.
What are you talking about right now?
Yeah.
You just be bitter that you're not making as much money as all you want. Like
they are throwing some cash around.
They're throwing some cash around.
They are throwing some cash around.
Some of the movies aren't that great, but saying that the actors aren't good actors, like that's unreasonable.
I agree with you. And the other thing is, though, too, is that this is off topic a little bit, but on topic, though, too. DC Universe just came out and said that they are going to be starting to create now the DC Universe.
I I actually prefer, just story-wise and hero-wise and comic-wise, I prefer the DC universe overall, much to the Marvel universe. Yeah. And I also think
and they said they're also going to have shows just like Marvel has now, and all their characters will match. They're going to have their characters, if they sign contracts with them, they have to do the shows and the movies. So everything will flow. And they're going to come out with a video game, apparently.
I mean, I'm sure it'll all be cool. And in fairness, I believe that no individual superhero movie arc will ever top The Dark Knight. In my personal opinion, I think The Dark Knight arc trumps any individual superhero arc from the Marvel universe. But
it's fair.
But I also think that DC can throw whatever amount of money at it they want. They are never, ever, ever coming back to the level of like movie. I don't know what to call it. They're never getting on the level that Marvel is. It's not going to happen.
You mean other movies?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's going to take. It would take a historical type of movie, something with actual events that happened and occurred. The reason I say this is because Titanic. Titanic was a hit.
Titanic was a hit.
But and that was about something that really happened, and it was a dramatic movie, and it also had action, and it had every aspect of.
Marvel spent, when did Iron Man come out? 2008? Mm-hmm. Marvel spent 14 years and an unbelievable amount of money and an incredible amount of writing and talent to build this entire universe.
You know their movies just got beat out, though, right? By Avatar 2?
I haven't seen Avatar 2 yet. But
I haven't either, but it's...
I didn't say they made more money than anything.
No. I know what you're saying, but I'm saying James Cameron just came out and said... Avatar 2 is going to break all records, and we will still only break even on our budget.
Probably. Didn't Avatar like, is that the highest grossing movie of all time?
No, it's Spider-Man No Way Home.
Really?
Yeah.
Because that was fucking awesome.
It was a great movie.
But I know it's way up there. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't pay that much attention to all that, but anyway, I don't know. Ran over, I suppose. Martin can go cry in a corner for all I care. Or who was it? Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah.
I was thinking Scorsese. That's my bad.
I don't agree with him on the fact of stars not being stars because they're in Marvel movies. I think I'm looking through that a little bit more, and I think that he's talking more about the direction of movies being taken from comic books compared to and you can't compare the two though because it's different genres. What I'm saying is that you have this Marvelization, which did happen, and then you have other movies that are they're movies. They're all movies. I'm not explaining this very well at all.
Somebody wrote it at some point, and whether or not it was based on a comic book or it was based on a book or it was based on a historical event. Or whether it was a group of writers together that came up with a new movie. Like it didn't. Somebody wrote it. Who cares who wrote it?
Yeah, none of that matters to me. I'm just thinking I'm not explaining this very well at all.
Who's kept him from making the movies that he wants? It hasn't
nobody.
Quentin Tarantino
no, it's Quentin Tarantino still at the end of the day.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. No,
if I know his name, that means that he's a big deal.
Yeah.
And so is he just unhappy people aren't coming to his movies? Well, make better movies, bro. I don't know what to tell you.
Well, here's the thing, though.
The people have spoken. We want to see Spider-Man fight some monster.
Yeah, but here's the thing, though, too. It's Quentin Tarantino making these articles, right? Or not making the articles, but he's making the headlines. Mm-hmm. You don't see Martin Scorsese really bitching about anything.
He's who I was mistaken saying a minute ago. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But you don't see him, and you don't see James Cameron making any fuss. He went out and did Avatar 2. Mm-hmm. Now, James Cameron probably wouldn't say anything, though, too, because he did Aquaman, so.
Yeah.
No, wait. No, he didn't.
I don't know.
No, he didn't do Aquaman.
I'd have believed you. I don't know.
I'm sorry. James Cameron did Aquaman and Entourage, the TV show.
Oh, okay.
He was the director in that. But yeah, no. But I'm just saying,
you. I do not know a lot of actors and like directors' names. And so if I knew Quentin Tarantino's name, then he was a big deal, obviously.
Right.
But like,
he's known for his gory stuff.
Just run around bitching about, not getting to whatever.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll be just fine.
Yeah, suck it up.
Yeah. In other news, though, Kanye West and Kim Kardashian settled their divorce recently.
Okay.
They agreed on equal joint custody and a $200,000 monthly child support for Kim.
Okay.
That's a lot of quiche.
That's a lot of cash. That is a lot of cash. I'm bad at math. What is that, a year? So 5 months, a couple $1 million, like $2.5 million. So we're talking about
a year in child support.
Something like that.
Man. As for property, the division of assets is in accordance with their prenup. So they did have a prenup, though.
Dude, $2.5 million. I'll have a kid with Kanye. See if I can adopt a kid and convince him that I had it.
Did you hear what he did recently with Adidas executives?
No.
This isn't okay. So
something crazy, because isn't he insane?
Yeah, the media depicts him kind of insane.
Whatever. He seems pretty crazy to me.
So there was 2 parts of this that came out. So first, like a news outlet reported Kanye West shows naked pictures of himself and him having sex with Kim to Adidas execs.
I've been there.
So like, so like that was the first outlet, right?
Okay.
Crazy though, right? Like you hear that and you're just like, why would he even remotely do that? Here's the spin to all this, though. So Adidas, Kanye West has these shoes called Yeezys. I've never actually seen them or worn them, so I don't know anything about sneaker. I'm not a sneakerhead. I don't know anything about that stuff. But apparently, Adidas took somewhat of a lookalike of his shoe and are mass producing it for cheaper.
Okay.
And they're now suing Adidas for this, right? This is going to be a lawsuit. I believe so. Anyway, there's more to the story here, though. There was something about it, like it was in the contract that Adidas is supposed to take over after so many years or something.
A million different kinds of sneakers. Like, I mean, how? I'm sure it looks kind of alike, but like at the end of the day, how much does one sneaker look different than the other?
Here's the thing, though. It's basically in the reps for Kanye West, who were also in this room at the time this all happened and went down. They were basically like, you basically stole his idea, his product, everything, and are producing it and making revenue. Mm-hmm. Like you can't do that. And Kanye's like, you want to know how uncomfortable I feel right now? Let me show you. And he starts showing him naked pictures of himself and him having sex with Kim on his phone. And he's like, this is how uncomfortable I feel right now.
That doesn't make me think.
He's like, are you uncomfortable? Are you uncomfortable?
I don't think he's any less crazy than I thought he was a second.
Is it a little extreme? Yes.
No. I think that's more crazy.
But he was trying to prove a point.
I think that's more crazy.
Do you?
I really do, yeah. If he's just sitting there, like, showing people pictures on his phone, like, are you uncomfortable now? Like, I think that's more crazy. You're not going to convince me that that's less crazy than just like, oh yeah, Kim's hot. You want to see her naked? Like, that's not less crazy than that.
I don't know. I mean, but like, I guess the first headline stands alone. It's just like, why would he do that? But then, like,
he's nuts.
But he came out with his side of everything.
I think his side makes him more nuts. It's insane. I just
you might be right.
I'm not even doing business with this guy anymore. What are we really talking about here?
You might be right there.
Can we get security in here?
So, over this past week, Jason David Frank, who was the actor best known to play the White Ranger back in the day on the Power Rangers show, committed suicide, passed away at the age of 49.
Bummer. That's not cool.
He was. He was definitely. I mean, I was a Ranger guy growing up. I loved the Power Rangers. That was 1990s. That was my childhood right there. So yeah, that kind of like he was like the cool one out of all. Did you know this? He was an MMA fighter too, 5-0.
I know that.
He was 5-0 in the MMA. So yeah, a lot of the older Power Rangers like went to Instagram, did their condolences and stuff. A lot of people posted a lot of pictures and stuff like that. So it's kind of sad though, but.
That's too bad. That's always too bad.
Yeah.
That's heavy.
Yeah, they said he just went through a divorce, so I don't know what all led up to it. There was no note or anything like that, but yeah. So for those of you who didn't know that, Krispy Kreme is to pay almost $1.2 million to workers who were not paid overtime. Good. So here's the story. Krispy Kreme will pay millions in back wages and damages to some of its almost 9,200 employees in the U.S. The Associated Press reports that the donut company failed to pay 516 of its employees for overtime following wage theft complaints at one Krispy Kreme shop. The Department of Labor then launched an investigation into the entire chain of stores, 242 locations, and found that they were widespread and systemic breaches of the law. A filing made to a U.S. District Court revealed that Krispy Kreme didn't accurately calculate overtime for its assistant district managers since November of 2019, which were supposed to be included as monthly bonuses. The company will pay almost $1.2 million in total to the workers, with one receiving more than $13,000 and another receiving over $12,500.
Good.
Yeah.
Very cool with me. Yeah.
I haven't had their donuts in forever.
Yeah, fuck them. You pay your employees fairly. If you're an employee, make sure that you're paid for your labor fairly.
Yeah.
Do not work if you're not clocked in.
Exactly.
Now, once you're clocked in, bust your ass and do a good job, but don't work for free.
That's few and far between anymore.
But don't work for free. It goes both ways.
Yeah.
Good for their employees. Good for them.
Yeah, I mean, they stood up. They won.
Yeah.
So.
Good. Yeah. Very happy for them.
Did you hear about Jay Leno catching on fire?
Well, I mean, I think she's been on fire for a long time.
Jay Leno.
Oh. No.
Not J-Lo.
All right, what happened to Jay Leno?
J-Lo was on fire, and then she poured all this water all over.
What happened to Jay Leno? Was it one of those like 3,000 cars he's got?
It was.
Was it really?
No, it was. He was working on a 1905 car in his garage. Gasoline was spilled.
Is he okay? I guess I should have started there.
Yeah, I'm getting to that. So basically, gasoline spilled on him. The car caught fire while he was working on it and burned up his face and hands really, really bad.
Is he going to be okay?
Yeah, he was in the hospital for a couple. I don't know if it was like a week or a couple weeks or a couple days. It doesn't really say. He was visited by Tim Allen in the hospital, Santa Claus. And
I know Tim Allen.
Yeah. So Tim Allen came out saying that he was doing fine, but he's back on stage already. So he's back up and doing comedy, stand up again. Cool. He looks a little. He's got some facial stuff that he had happen, and his hands are kind of burnt still. He's got some scars on his arms and stuff like that. But yeah, he's doing good, and he's back up. He's back up on stage.
Well, good.
So
good. I hope he continues to recover.
Yeah, it was 2 weeks ago when it happened. So the burn happened 2 weeks ago. So now he's back on stage.
Okay.
So
I hope he continues to do well. Yeah. And Jay Lo is absolutely on fire.
J Lo is on fire. That's funny.
That is funny.
I love J Lo.
That's funny.
In news again, Anthony Fauci. So Anthony Fauci is no longer on the board, right? For the whatever it's called, whatever board he was on for the United States,
okay,
right? Medical board or something. I don't know.
Okay,
or whatever. Anyway, he was just recently quoted as saying, "I have a completely open mind now. I feel like the virus probably was leaked from our lab."
Who'd he say that to?
This was reported by the Politico, which is a very well-sourced.
I feel like he just gives zero fucks anymore, and it's just like, well, the last whatever years of my life have just been an absolute nightmare. I don't even care.
Yeah. He said this to NBC on Meet the Press. He said,
Was he kidding?
No. He said, I have a completely open mind about... They said, Anthony Fauci, the retiring top official in the United States response to the COVID-19 pandemic, said Sunday he has a completely open mind about the origins of the respiratory virus. He quotes, I have a completely open mind about that, despite people saying that I don't, Fauci said when asked on NBC's Meet the Press about the theory that the virus may have been leaked from a lab in China in 2019.
I mean, it could have happened. It's fine with me.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't want to spend a lot of time thinking about it.
No, you're fine.
Because it just makes me depressed. It does. I don't know if it's better or worse if it was like...
Yeah.
It came from a lab.
I don't know. I think it's just the fact that I feel like we've been blatantly lied to numerous times.
Probably.
Yeah. But what can you... You're not going to change it. Can't do nothing about it now.
Yeah. So. It just makes me... God, I get kind of bummed thinking about the last couple of years, honestly. But the heavy thing I think about is I'm like, okay, the Black Plague killed 1 in 3 people in Europe, and before that, it killed 1 in 2 people. It killed half of Asia, and the mortality rate and our medicine's a lot better and hygiene's a lot better, but the mortality rate for COVID wasn't anywhere near that. It was really bad.
Yeah.
What happens when we get the thing that kills 1 in 3 people again? Like, we are just hosed. Like, if there's anything I learned in the last 2 years, it is that we are incredibly underprepared to deal with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so,
I agree.
So when we get the thing that kills 1 in 3 people, we're just, gonna die.
So we're gonna take a little bit of a break here in between the current events.
Getting depressing. Sorry.
Yeah. No. And we're going to talk to you now about
unprepared.
I wish we could just have a new segment coming. Collin's Travels.
Well, hey, I'm going somewhere next week.
Yeah. Where are you going next week?
I'm going to the Dominican Republic next week.
Nice.
Very briefly.
He likes to travel by himself.
I do. I just recently have discovered it. Last year, it just kind of happened.
Did you mean to, or would somebody back out?
So me and a couple friends of mine who might end up on the podcast at some point, I think we talked about going to Ireland I'd never been out of the country before.
Yeah.
Last year. We talked about going to Ireland in 2020, I think. And then COVID. Mm-hmm. And so the country was shut down in 2020 and for a lot of 2021. But sometime in 2021, they were starting to kick around the idea of opening up the country to people who met certain requirements.
Sure.
And I kind of told my friends, I'm like, look, I was dying to do this. I'm going with or without you. And it opened up, and they couldn't go, which I understood. It was it was a very short, like I bought plane tickets for like 4 weeks after I bought them. I bought tickets the day after the country opened up. I was there like 5 weeks later.
Nice.
Something like that.
So you went to Ireland?
Ireland first.
Did you go to Guinness?
Loved it. Yep. Of course I did. Are you kidding me? And Jameson and Teelings and did a bunch of other things. I set a pretty aggressive pace.
Yeah. You said you told me when we talked about this earlier. You were talking about it.
I found out
your schedule's hectic.
Found out that I got the real travel bug though. I recently took another European trip a few weeks ago. And it's not a fluke. I've got the travel bug bad, and it turns out I like traveling alone. Yeah. Everything's on your own pace. There's not any time spent doing anything you don't want to do. Nothing's going too fast. Nothing's going too slow.
It's fair,
and it's more of an adventure. It's more adventurous. I think.
Yeah.
I kind of like it.
You backpack and Irish hookers.
No Irish hookers or hookers of any sort. But yeah, I do just go with a backpack. It makes it a lot easier. It's cheaper. Yeah. I do it pretty cheap, and I set a pretty aggressive pace.
So you don't pack anything except for what's in a backpack? Mm-hmm. Nice.
Well,
do you live very minimalistic?
I don't know about very minimalistic. That's probably not fair, but I don't feel like I do without things. I just feel like I want different things than. See,
I'm too big of a guy. I can't pack a pair of jeans in a backpack.
I get a big backpack.
Oh, okay. If I get a pair of jeans and a backpack, I'm probably going to need like 2 or 3 backpacks.
It's not like a frame pack. It's not like a frame like hiking backpack. I've got one of those for backpacking.
I'm obviously not on keto or anything. So
well, me either. But it's like the biggest. Like they sell like backpacks that are like the biggest legal carry-on size.
Yeah.
It's still carry-on size. I don't check a bag. I don't screw around with that. I don't want to walk through streets with like a roller bag. Yeah. It is a backpack, but it's a bigger one.
Okay.
But yeah, I 100% am like washing T-shirts in a hotel sink at least a couple times.
Are you really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Well, it's less awesome because you cannot wash a shirt in a sink as well as you can. I probably don't smell great, like at some various points, but
fucking Americans.
Yeah. Well, hey, the French aren't. I don't think the French are bathing like they should be. I just got back from France.
Right.
And was in. I went to London and Paris recently.
Yeah. You liked it?
Loved it. It was great. I'm telling you, I got the travel bug bad.
Which, out of the 2 that you've been to so far, or you've had 3 trips so far, right?
So I've been, 2 big ones. I've been to Ireland. I've been to London and Paris. I did together this recently.
Right.
And then it counts because I feel like if you would get arrested.
Where is it?
Whatever country. I went to Canada. I went to Windsor, Canada, too.
I mean,
that's right across the border, though.
Yeah.
Like, I went to the casino. I feel like it counts, but it's not a big trip. Like,
I don't know if I'd count it. I went there when I was 19.
I'm counting it. I'm counting
drove
it as
right there.
I'm counting it as it's like 2.5 hours from here. Yeah. It's closer than Lexington, Kentucky.
True, very true.
But like, if you would get arrested, which country's prison would you go to? Canada. All right, you went to Canada. So
fair.
So I've been to Canada, Ireland, England, and France.
Okay. And you're going to Dominican Republic in a couple days? Tomorrow?
Wednesday. A week from tomorrow.
Week from
today.
Okay.
Week from today.
Okay. So we were talking about this yesterday.
Yeah.
And we were talking about dating app, and there was a dating app in Reykjavik,
Iceland.
Iceland.
Well, I think it's just Iceland.
So I know nothing about this. Just so, in case my wife's watching, I wasn't looking up dating apps. We were talking about the fact that him being by himself, traveling to these countries. I mean, if I was a single guy, I'd be hitting up women left and right.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. So,
and we got on I don't know how we got on the topic of Iceland and Greenland.
Well, Iceland's a place I want to go a lot of places. Yeah. You literally throw a dart at the map. I probably have thought.
I think
I
was just naming off countries and stuff.
I'd like to go to Iceland very badly. There's a lot that I'd like to see there. It looks like a beautiful country. It's relatively close.
I've heard another one that's really good at Switzerland.
I'd like to go there too, but it's one of the most expensive countries in the world.
Really?
And I'm doing this reasonably cheaply.
Yeah.
Certainly not, you know, you can do it with $20 and a handshake, but like I'm doing it pretty cheap.
Yeah.
I'd like to see Switzerland too.
I've heard Indonesia's pretty expensive though too, isn't it?
It's pretty inexpensive. In fact, Bali is the plane ticket there is more expensive because it's farther away.
Okay.
But it's pretty cheap once you get there. So is the Dominican Republic. But
the Maldives are pretty expensive though, I think.
Probably.
And that's in Indonesia.
I've not looked into that.
Yeah.
I don't think they're Indonesian.
No?
Maybe.
Could be wrong.
I think that sounds not right. But anyway, I've looked extensively into going to Iceland. I think that's probably a place that I'm going to end up sooner rather than later. In looking, I kind of forgot we talked about this. In looking up Iceland, I found out a couple things about them, including that they have the like highest STD per capita rate in Europe.
Right.
And Reykjavik was voted the most sexually
active.
I don't know what to say. Active, open.
I would say sexually active.
Active and open city in Europe. Like I thought it was going to be like Paris or something. The French have that reputation, but the Icelandic people are apparently just
South Asia is the Maldives.
Okay, but I don't think it's Indonesia.
Okay, I don't know where Indonesia's at.
In the South Pacific, it's Southeastern Asia.
So this is more in the Indian Ocean.
Okay, I think Indonesia's east of there.
Okay, gotcha.
And I think it's like 1,000 different islands, but I'm fairly confident they're not the same thing.
Fair.
In Iceland, though, it's a little tiny island that for most of its history has been very isolated because it's hard to get to.
Right.
There's like 300,000 people there, something like that. I could definitely use a fact check, but I think I'm close. That's not a lot of people in Iceland. It's not a lot of people for a country in a small geographic area. They have historically had a real incest problem, and not that people are looking out for it. It literally just there is not that many people in the dating pool. It's not. If you live on an island with 300,000 people, it's not that hard to sleep with your cousin.
376,000 people.
There we go. And so the dating app that I was reading about in the same article, I think it's Icelandic for cousins, I think, and it's not a dating app designed to help you meet people because it sounds like they're like just sleeping with everybody they meet, and then the people that they like they go on a date with. The Cousins app is designed to help you figure out whether or not the person you're about to sleep with is your relative. And I think if I'm remembering all this right,
it's my cousin again. Damn.
This is all just off the top of my head, and if I'm remembering it correctly, but I think I am. It made an impression. This kind of thing does make an impression. I think they were saying that like third cousin was kind of the line, like third cousin or farther. And you're good.
Free game.
Yeah, and I kind of get that. I'm like, I don't have a clue who my third cousin is. Like, whatever. they're like second or first, and like,
nix it.
Yeah,
nix it.
That was hilarious. I laughed so hard when I found that. But I'm like, all that logically makes sense. I'm like, 300,000 people is not a lot.
No,
it's a very small geographic area that has historically been very isolated. Like, that's got to be a real problem. So they're not on Tinder like swiping left and right. They're like, are we related?
I wonder if they were forced to do like 23andMe. Like, what is it called? Like Ancestry?
Yeah, I think they're going to find a lot of common people across the country. Yeah. But no, I really want to go to Iceland for a lot of reasons. Not the least of which is I'm definitely not anybody's cousin. So, I mean, I ought to be fair game, right?
Yeah, you're good to go.
Yeah.
So, like, instead of like a coffee date, like they have sex first.
I'm sure that's not just like that easy, but it sounded like it was pretty like. So
it's just like
that's kind of what was happening.
Nice to meet you. You want to go for a shank?
Like you meet somebody at a bar.
Or I guess shank's probably not the word to use. You want to get shanked real quick? Or you just want to go for a fuck?
I got to learn Icelandic for that, I guess. I got to learn Icelandic for STDs because they apparently all have STDs now.
Yeah.
Because they've just been
double rap, bro.
Nailing left and right.
Double rap.
Yeah, I guess so.
Double rap. Yeah. And if they're hideous, just tell them that you think you might be related.
I think we're cousins.
This is never going to work. I think we might be cousins.
We might be first cousins. What's your last name? Oh.
Yeah, that's pretty similar to mine.
Yeah.
Even if you can't spell it. Yeah, that's definitely what mine.
Is there an O with a line in it? Mine too.
Yeah. 2 dots over the I. Yeah, that's definitely me.
Yeah. I've got a lot of that on my mom's side.
Oh, alcohol runs in your family too, huh? Shit, this probably is not going to work.
Your family grew up on a fjord? Mine did too. Oh my god.
Oh my god. Are you thinking what I'm thinking?
So yeah. I kind of didn't know you were going with that. I forgot we had talked about that. That is, I think I got that online, and we're working off my best memory here, people, which is not great, but I think I'm pretty damn close. I think that's what is going on over there. I found this out. I researched the places I go before I go to them. I found that out. Yeah.
It does make sense. Like you said, 300,000 people is not a lot. So,
on a small, relatively isolated geographic area.
Yeah.
It was much more isolated before air travel, which is pretty recent. It's only the last 100 years that's really been a thing. 1903, I guess, 100 and nearly 20 years, but yeah. Collin's Travels, I like that.
Collin's Travels.
I'm gonna have to start. I'm gonna need
to start a new
money.
segment. I need a lot more money. Well, you work at a bank. You can just take it.
Well, I've got things to talk about now and maybe recently, but like you give it 3 months, it'll be like, yep, I'm too broke to travel again for another 6 months.
So, in other news, though, we will get back to Collin's Travels, though, when he gets back from Dominican Republic. We'll have to talk about that. So, hopefully you make it back. Yeah. I'm not saying that you won't. I'm just saying I hope you don't get anybody pregnant while you're there. I guess they won't find out, though. You're only there for 3 days.
Yeah.
So
you go to a foreign country, like you just come back. Like,
this reminds me of another TikTok, actually. There was a guy who's like sitting in a car, and he just goes, he's like, I got a confession. He's like, when I was like 15 years old, he's like, I met this girl in high school. We had sex. She calls me up like 2 weeks later and tells me she's pregnant. He's like, I went home, told my mom that I was getting bullied at school, and we moved away, and I never seen that girl again. How awful it is.
I always said I was joining the French Foreign Legion. I was like, hey, that's really cool. Let's talk about that more tomorrow. Get on a plane and go.
Could you imagine that? Just like, Mama being bullied at school.
I really want to move school.
We really need to move. Like, this is getting really bad.
That's pretty good.
So, in other news, Facts by Guff. Okay, just recently put out a study. According to a 2019 study published in the journal Current Research in Food Science, the healthy blend this is a new blend of foods that cures a hangover automatically. Okay,
where's this been all my life?
So listen up. So, but the healthy blend is even more effective when supplemented by a plate of cheese with some tomatoes and cucumbers. The researchers based at the Institute of Chemical Technology in Mumbai said a beverage made from a blend of sweet lime, pear, and coconut water could be used to overcome a hangover. The consumption of this beverage with cheese, cucumber, and tomatoes may further alleviate the symptoms. Pear makes up most of the drink at 65%, followed by a sweet lime at 25% and coconut water at 10%. They help bolster the enzymes alcohol dehydrogenase, which is found in the liver, and aldehyde dehydrogenase, which is found in the liver, kidneys, and lungs by 23% and 70%, respectively.
Wow. I'm going to have to write that down. Coconut water was already pretty high on my list.
Yeah, coconut water, pear, and lime. And then you eat it with cheese, tomatoes, and cucumbers.
Coconut water was already pretty high on my list. I know that pears are supposed to settle your stomach. That all makes sense to me.
I've never had a sweet lime, though.
I'm like, what is that? That's the thing that I'm shying away from. I'm like, how's that different than a normal lime?
It's got to be super ripe, or like, I don't know.
That sounds fake. Speaking of which, you need another beer?
No, I'm good right now.
Okay.
I've been sipping. So we have some other current news here. Let me get to it. What do we got? Oh, so I know we don't want to go to this one, but it is up next.
Sadness.
So I'll go one more, actually. Tourist sparks outrage and is met with boos and gets beat for dancing to TikToks on a Mayan pyramid.
Wow. Well, that's the kind of traveler I aspire not to be. I want to go see those pyramids. Are they the ones like in Tulum? See in Mexico?
Yes, it was in Mexico. So, yeah. And it was a local who did this.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It wasn't even a tourist. So, like, the headline came out, and then it came out that it was actually, like, a local who did this. First off, you're not allowed to walk on these pyramids.
Yep.
It's stated all around the area.
Yep.
She climbs to the top and sets up her phone and starts dancing to TikToks on top of the Mayan pyramid.
Yeah.
So, and then she's met with boos and people saying kill her, and like it was pretty good. She did get arrested, so.
Yeah, I get it. They've stood there for a long time, and you don't want to mess with them. I aspire to not be that tourist, although it sounds like it was a local person. All right. Well, hey. Yeah. Well, I don't have TikTok either. So
to each their own, I guess.
I guess so.
I think she did get beat up though a little bit. So.
Well, I mean, they're really, really old, and if they want to continue to be really, really old, yeah, you need to stay off of them. I mean, there are a lot of things like that where
I get the mummy vibe, like from that whole ordeal. Like you're probably gonna die now. Like
you think she's cursed?
Yeah.
like Howard Carter and the guys that opened up King Tut's tomb.
Exactly, exactly, man. Yeah, you don't do shit like that.
That's like that. I heard somebody talk about that that was literally just the other day. It's like, yeah, all those guys that opened up King Tut's tomb are like dead now. Look it up. They're all cursed. I'm like, it was like 90 years ago.
Of course they're dead. Yeah, they would be 800 years old by now.
I think that was like the 1920s or 30s or something.
Look it up. They're all dead, man.
Yeah, like no shit.
No shit. All right, let's get into it. Ohio State goes down against Michigan. What happened?
I don't know, man.
Did you watch the game?
I did. Made me sick at the time. It's going to make me sick again. It's just...
And if Dobie's watching, which he might be...
Go fuck yourself.
But me and him made a bet last year on this show.
Yeah.
Of me having to wear a Michigan jersey during the game. So I abided by the bet.
Did you? Did you watch it with him?
No, we didn't. We were kind of all over the place.
I wouldn't have gone out if I had a Michigan jersey on. I'd have sat at home.
We were kind of all over. I wore the Michigan jersey, but I had other stuff on too.
I wouldn't have gone anywhere.
So, and on the Michigan jersey, though, I had at the bottom in print, it says Laurinaitis owns this. Okay. So, yeah. But, man, the game, it was just, I felt like we didn't look like ourselves.
It didn't.
What was up with the play calling?
I don't know. It felt scared to me. I'm the let's just go for it anyway guy though, and I'm the farthest thing from a football expert. I probably shouldn't even offer an opinion. It's certainly not educated.
They torched us with big plays.
Yeah,
absolutely torched us with big plays.
Well, there was just a handful of real plays that made a huge difference in the game, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
But how did we not fix what happened in the first half?
I don't know.
It didn't make sense to me.
I don't know. It felt terrible. Fucked me up bad. I was depressed as shit on Sunday. Still probably a little bit.
What made me feel better is that my Bengals won. We beat the Titans.
I care way less about that. I cared about that not at all.
I know. I cared about that, though.
Whatever.
Literally, like, right after it happened,
okay,
I was
I'm happy for you, but
I was like hopefully the Bengals win.
It can't make up for it. I'm just too spoiled, too. Like,
Sure,
I started caring about football literally about 10 years ago. No, it was honest to God. It was about 10 years ago. Yeah. I think I was like, I was starting to play football. So maybe a little over 10 years at this point. But, like, I've suffered prior to the last 2 years, I've suffered one Michigan loss in like my entire caring about football.
I know.
I've just gotten really spoiled.
Well, I feel like that's our bowl game. Like that matters more to me than the next fucking game.
I was going to say we're 11-1 right now, and like how many Ohio State fans do you think would rather be 1-11 as long as the one was Michigan?
I don't know about 1-11.
I think I'd take it.
I don't know about that.
I think I'd take
There's
it.
There's a lot of worse teams out there than us.
There are.
Especially in our division.
And that'd be a big deal. I don't think Ohio State's ever lost 11 games.
No.
I'm not sure we've ever had a losing season.
I don't think so.
I mean maybe ever.
Yeah, I'm not sure on that. But
I'm not sure on that either. That's certainly worth a Google. But, like, we're good. We're good, and I get it. A bad year for us is we lose a couple games and we win the Rose Bowl, right?
Do you agree with the thought process of a lot of Ohio State fans right now that are saying fire Ryan Day?
No.
I agree. Why would you fire the guy?
Yeah, he's
lost 2 games.
Yeah, he's
2.
How many has he lost in his total career as the Ohio State head coach? Is it 3?
Yeah. Now, does something need to be fixed?
Is it 3 or 4?
Does something need to happen? Absolutely. Is firing Ryan Day though the option here? No, because guess what? We're still getting the recruits. Mm-hmm. We're still. Everything's still working like clockwork. We failed in a big game against a big opponent.
Yep.
We've lost them. We've lost to Alabama before. Does that mean fire Ryan Day then?
No, but the Alabama game doesn't matter as much. It doesn't.
I get that aspect.
And anybody that doesn't understand, and I know you do. I'm not talking about you, but any coach or any player even who or the rest of the country even who honestly the only other people who get it I would think would be Michigan. Yeah. But like anybody who thinks that this isn't the most important game of the year and who gives a shit about the postseason.
Yeah.
This is the game.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong. I'd love to have a national championship too.
I would too, but I would take the Michigan game over national championship. I swear to God, I would. If you asked me to just pick, I'd pick
Michigan over national championship.
Now, don't get me wrong. I want another natty.
Yeah.
I was a freshman at Ohio State when we won the national championship. And that was a pretty special time.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'd love another one.
Yeah.
But if you asked me to pick, I'd pick Michigan.
I honestly thought this was going to be the year.
Me too.
I really did.
Same. I guess we can't say that it's not because isn't the talk now about whether or not Michigan and Ohio State might meet each other again this year?
The story, there is a 76% chance. They're saying if TCU loses their next game, Ohio State can go in.
Yeah, we're 5th right now, right?
Yeah. We're 1 away. Mm-hmm. 1 away.
TCU goes down. We play Georgia then.
Now, here's the deal.
Right?
Here's the deal. How much would you love to beat Michigan in the playoffs and knock them out of contention?
So much to the point where I could even be happy about the entire year and even the one loss.
Exactly.
But how bad am I going to be if we lose twice in 1 year to them?
I agree.
I might kill myself.
But this is where coaches need to take over and game plan though and be prepared for the next matchup if it does happen.
Now, obviously, something wasn't done right here, but I certainly don't have an educated enough opinion to say exactly what. But I'm going to say that.
Oh shit! Oh no, I'm just kidding. We're good.
Is the camera okay?
Yeah, we're good.
99% of the people out there who are talking about it, they don't have an educated enough opinion for it either. Mm-hmm. They just don't. You watch the game and you got things to complain about, and that's all well and good. But you don't get paid, $100 million to coach football.
Yeah. A lot of armchair coaches.
I'm thinking very specifically of one friend of mine who I watched the game with who had stuff to complain about the entire time. And
I'm thinking about 20 friends of mine who have
Yep. I'm like, listen, man, you haven't played football since the 7th grade. Like, let's just take a deep breath. You know.
I got guys who've never played football in a day in their fucking life and don't even watch it as much as I do.
Yep.
I watch every fucking
like,
game.
fire the coach, I'd do a better job. I'm like, all right, man.
Yeah. I'm that guy that tells my wife, hey, I'm not watching football. It's Tuesday night. So you want to do something tonight?
I think you're lucky your wife's not Icelandic. I think she'd have left you. Okay. There's no football tonight.
Exactly. So no, because I do though. I literally watch every game, but I'm a sports bettor though too. So
Sure.
I watch tons of games.
Yep.
Saturdays and Sundays during the fall, I'm all football.
Yep.
I mean, as soon as Ohio State's over, I'm on the next game already.
Sure.
So that's just how I roll. But so I watch a lot of football. I pay attention to formations and stuff like that. I pay attention to coaching and stuff like that. So when I hear people who never played a day in their life watch only the Buckeyes all the time, and that's all they watch, nothing else, I can't. I like go to another room. I have to go to another room. Otherwise, I'll just fucking explode.
Yeah.
So
I know I'm usually the least educated opinion in the room about it, but I also know that, like, I also hear people talk about, they're like, "I'll fire him," and I'm like, what do you know? Like, I might not be the most educated opinion in the room, but like me, you, Ryan Day, let's take it easy, all right?
Although Urban Meyer, did you see a lot of the pictures they showed of Urban Meyer on the sideline during the game? He was not happy.
Yeah, well, of course he wasn't.
Yeah.
I love him as a coach, too. I give a
too.
damn about how many co-eds he was nailing. Like, I would, too. Are you kidding me?
I don't think any of that ever happened, though. I don't think any of that happened.
I don't care if it did.
No, I think it was just... The thing that fucked over Urban Meyer was the fact that his coaches were fucking up. And he didn't have a leash on him. Also, though, I don't blame Urban Meyer for the coaches making decisions. They're men just like he is. Mm-hmm. I don't blame Urban Meyer for not knowing that this guy went out on his wife. Why the fuck is that Urban's problem?
Right.
Now, where do I blame Urban Meyer is when he went to Jacksonville and really fucked up a coaching job.
Yeah.
So, but that's the NFL. That's a different ballgame.
It'd have been nice if he stayed at Ohio State, but that's not even necessarily a guarantee. Things have been different the last couple of years.
It's hard, and it's harder though, and a lot of people don't understand. Yeah, did he flop in the NFL? Yeah, but so did Nick Saban. Mm-hmm. He did when he was at Dolphins. Nick Saban flopped. Now here's the other thing though, is that when you go from NCAA college to NFL, you're not coaching boys anymore. You're not coaching 18-year-old, 20-year-old kids where you can motivate them and speak some. What do you call that? Speak some knowledge to them and teach still. You know, when you're in the NFL, you're around men who, if you don't get them on board with you, fuck you.
Yeah.
They don't care.
Yeah.
They don't care. They're making their dollars still, and you have to win over that locker room. If you don't win over that locker room as a coach, good luck.
I kind of don't understand why a big college coach would want to go to the NFL. I mean, you can say money, but at a certain point, like...
Well, I don't, he didn't want to go there at first. I mean, he was kicked out of Ohio State, and then he became an analyst for 2 years.
I know. I'm talking just in general.
Yeah.
I know that there are guys that want to make the jump or try to make the jump, and they have problems, or even the ones that do well. I don't know why they do it, though. Like, I mean, I feel like people are, in general, more passionate about their college football program. I feel like it's easier to become, kind of legendary.
I think there's more money involved in college.
Which yeah. And even if it's more money, even if it ends up being more money in the NFL, like, at some point, what's the difference between $40 million and $50 million? Yeah. Seriously.
I mean, the NFL.
What's your life change?
I will say this. If you're speaking from, let's say I'm a coach, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. And I coach at the NCAA level. I got multiple championships under my belt. Let's just say I'm like the Urban Meyer, okay? Mm-hmm. Multiple championships under my belt. I've done it. I've been there, done that. It's in human nature to want more.
Which is fair. I get that.
And to have greater goals. So what's your
guys that are that successful are obviously more naturally inclined to it. Let's go do it.
Yeah. So your next feat is pros.
Yep.
and win the Super Bowl.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's where your head's got to be at.
Yeah. I guess so.
So
that makes sense to me. That's a reasonable point. I'm just like, well, the money's got to not matter at a certain point. You know, it seems easier to become legendary in the college realm. Does that seem fair?
Yeah. You definitely can be. Yeah, because you can be forgotten in the NFL realm.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, you know, when you get to NFL, your legendary status is if you get that gold jacket or not and become a Hall of Famer. Mm-hmm. How many championships you won? Mm-hmm. What was your coaching record? You know what I mean? That's where all that goes into play. Coaching records aren't really talked about in college football. It's just about how well the program keeps going.
Yep.
So, I mean, you know, you could be 8-4 for the next 4 seasons, but if before you got to that team was 5-6 before you got there, guess what? You've created a winning program. Mm-hmm. That's all that matters.
Yep.
They want winning programs.
Yep.
So yeah, I mean, yeah, it's a whole different ballgame. But no, getting back to the game though in itself, we got outplayed.
It's rough, man. Yep. Hey, we lost. We lost, and honestly, 2 losses in a decade. You know, still probably pretty spoiled, but it hurt bad.
Oh
Cut
yeah,
me deep.
Absolutely. But I mean, and it should. It's the game.
It's the game.
It's the game. So hopefully things get fixed though, and the Buckeyes can move on from this.
If we play them again this year, we need to beat
them. I'm
going to kill myself.
If we play them again this year, I'm not even joking. I think we'll come more prepared. I don't know. It's hard to say what happened there.
Yeah.
It's hard to say what happened there.
It is.
Moving on though. Elon Musk has finally moved into Twitter. We all know this now.
Yeah.
He had an interesting way of firing people and making daily changes. Have you heard about the memes that he sent people that he fired?
Twitter's the only social media I'm really on. So, yeah, I've heard some of this on Twitter.
And Donald Trump is back on Twitter now.
Which I don't think he's even really using very much. I didn't follow him anyway, but I don't think he's using it very much.
Not like he did.
No.
Well, he's focused now on his campaign. He's running back in 2024. He's bringing it back. So,
we'll see.
Well, that's going to be interesting. I know we don't talk politics usually. It is going to be interesting though because you got 2 Republicans right now who are vying for that spot.
Yeah, it's certainly not boring. Well, there's always multiple Republicans. That's what the primaries.
I guess you know.
Does he secure the Republican Party nomination? Is an interesting question. That is a very interesting question. Yeah. Elon Musk, though, I'm convinced is going to run Twitter into the ground.
You think so?
Well, I don't
think so.
Well, they make money through advertising, right? Mm-hmm. And the whole checkmark thing, I know that what he had changed with that led people to be able to buy the checkmark for different companies. What was the one that, like, who was the people who made insulin that somebody bought the...
I don't know.
Oh, come on. This was a thing. I
didn't hear about the checkmark thing yet, so this is new to me.
Thing. So you get verified on Twitter. Previously, it was like you had to be actually like famous.
Yeah, right.
And you got verified by Twitter. You sent something in, and they call you, and they confirm it's you.
Sure.
Yeah. You could buy the verification now. You've not heard all about this?
I did not hear about that.
This is the only social media thing I know about. So you could buy.
School me, Collin.
So you can buy the verification now, right? And I think they're starting to set up some.
Parameters.
I think they're starting to set up some parameters for it, but Elon changed it where you could just buy it.
Okay.
And people were buying established, like everybody that already had it got it taken away, and you had to buy it if you wanted it again. Some people buyed the verification for names for like companies, and then just put crazy shit on there. I think somebody got verified and like for Nintendo and like had a picture of Mario with like the middle finger up.
Really?
Yeah. And then there was one that God damn it, who makes insulin?
I don't know.
It's a huge company. It's a huge company. I think it starts with an L. I feel like an idiot that I can't come up with it at the moment.
I don't think you're an idiot at all because I have no idea what the hell you're talking about.
Well, maybe I'm making it up, but I don't think so. I think it starts with an L. Maybe. I don't know. Just Twitter insulin. If you just put Twitter insulin, I think you're there. Somebody bought their verification and then posted a tweet that was like, hey, as of tomorrow, we're making all insulin in the country free for everybody, and their stock fell like 5% that day.
Oh my gosh!
Huge company.
Yeah, I did not hear about any of that.
This is a real thing. I swear to God, I am not making this
I'm bringing
up.
it up right now.
Okay. Like, I am not crazy. I might be crazy, but this is not why.
Eli Lilly.
Eli Lilly. There was, okay. Well, Lilly L.
Yeah. There's a fake Eli Lilly Twitter account that claims insulin is free.
That got verified.
Yeah.
They were verified. And then their stock fell like an incredible amount. And so I think that my point is that stuff like that, I think it happened to more than one person, although I think that was the big example. You know, if you're Eli Lilly, if you're Nintendo, if you're anybody, you know, and you spend a lot of money to advertise on Twitter, why would you do that anymore? It's now a liability.
Yeah.
Let's get the fuck out of there.
Sounds like they are setting up some parameters from what I'm reading.
I believe that they are.
Yeah.
But still, are you going to trust it at this point?
I don't know. $8 verification plan.
Somebody spent $8 and they didn't tank their stock, but 5% is a big deal. I think that was like one day too.
This is hilarious. Trevor Noah slams Elon Musk's $8 verification plan. Charge white people to say the N-word, and Twitter will be the most profitable company.
That's pretty funny.
So yeah, it sounds like they are setting up some parameters, but no, I did not know anything about that. That's crazy.
I thought it was nuts. I was like, why would anybody ever advertise on there again?
Yeah. Did you see though where he was firing people and how he fired them?
I know he just sent some people an email like in the middle of the night.
It was a meme.
Was there a meme?
Yeah, it was of him laughing. It was like multiple pictures of him just like, so there's like, if you look at the photo, it's a picture of him like laughing, and then there's like multiple heads of Eli laughing, and it just says, "You're fired."
That's just fucked. Like, why would any... That's just so messed up, man. It's people and...
The reason he said he did it was because...
I don't care. This is going to be like Kanye. You're not going to give me any explanation, or I'm going to think the guy's not crazy.
I'm just putting out the facts.
All right.
The reason why he did it, he said, okay, this is a quote, was that he just wanted to have some fun.
Fun with people's jobs and lives, and he's like, okay, you know.
Now, did you hear the other thing that happened, though, where the people got trapped in the parking garage?
If I was the richest man in the world, I'd come up with a lot more fun things than that. I think he's just not that creative.
Maybe. I differ from you though. I don't think he'll run Twitter in the ground. There's going to be changes when new things
I don't know
happen.
about that. I just don't like the guy. I don't like anybody that treats people that way.
Sure.
I don't like anybody that treats people that way.
Yeah. And
that's my problem with Kanye.
And
like,
we
don't
all
be crazy. Leave people alone.
But we all know though, Elon is very political driven. So, and I think a lot of that had to do with these firings.
I saw him post a tweet that's like, well, I'm not really one way or another. And I'm like, okay, that's pretty contradictory to everything else I've ever heard you say.
Yeah. Yeah, did you hear about the parking garage thing, though?
No.
So he ended up firing like one of the security guards who was supposed to work a night shift at the parking garage, and everybody was trapped in the parking garage for 2.5 hours because there was no security guard to work.
They didn't know how to open like the gate or something?
No. So like then like everybody was like tweeting out to Elon like, hire a security guard.
We're trapped, yo. We're trapped.
And he put out on Twitter, he's like, hey, things happen when you take over a new company. So, but yeah. I'm not saying it's all right. I'm not saying it's all wrong.
I'm not saying that being a bad person means you're going to run into the ground. That's probably unreasonable.
Yeah.
But I don't like people who do business that way. It makes for entertaining. It makes for an entertaining story. But you know, those are people. Those are real people and their jobs and their lives. The attorneys in the room with Kanye are the people who I'm anti people being dicks.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you. All right. And you ready for the last one we got here?
Lay it on me.
All right. So a couple divorces after discovering that both had an online affair with each other under fake names.
Wow. Okay, so it was online. They didn't hook up.
No.
Okay. Wow.
But when they found out it was each other, like they got a divorce.
That's like, except for the internet not being a part of it, that is the exact plot of the, If You Like Pina Colada song? That's the exact plot of that song.
Oh, yeah.
You remember that entire song where he's like cheating on us? Like he's like looking, it's a newspaper. He's looking in the newspaper at the classifieds, sees his wife's ad looking for somebody, responds, and then they meet up in a bar. Except that has a happy ending.
Yeah.
That's wild.
I feel like they shouldn't get a divorce.
I feel like
if they found each other again.
Yeah. I feel like they should just play that song and like be happy.
I bet they found out some things about each other that they didn't know.
I just want to know how much time they spent like messaging. Here's where I bet it came off the
My
tracks.
husband hates anal. Do you like anal? I love it.
Yep. I don't know about that, but
you know what I mean, though.
Well, I was gonna say, like, if it had just been like, "Oh, you're sexy," let's hook up. But I feel like at some point there just had to have been a lot of shit talk about their spouse. Like, oh yeah, I fucking hate my wife. She's a bitch. My husband is the biggest asshole in the entire fucking.
But what if
world.
they played it off as they were single?
I don't know. Well, here's the other thing. Like, who were they both using fake pictures? Like, what was going on there?
See if we can find it out. From what I heard it was just they found out that they were cheating on each other with each other.
Was it like the song? I just can't get the Pina Colada song in my head.
I know.
Is it like the part where they go to the bar and he just looks and he's like, "Oh, it's you"? And like, was it like that? Did they do that except just be pissed? What?
We gotta find this article now.
I know. That's pretty wild.
So a couple divorces after finding each other online.
That's fucking nuts.
I mean, yeah, I feel like though they should try to work this out.
I really do too. Like, I'm not saying they don't need therapy, but I'm saying like divorce. Okay, well, what are you mad about? That they tried to cheat on you? Well, back at you, man.
So a Bosnian couple filed for divorce after discovering they were both having an affair with each other online using fake names. The couple met each other in an online chat forum. So the 27
just never got off.
Yeah. The 27-year-old wife and her 32-year-old husband found each other under fake names and ended up discussing each other's marriage problems. So they did say they were married.
I bet that's it. It's not just like, oh, hey, what's cooking? It's, I fucking hate my spouse.
After a while, they ended up falling for one another, head over heels. They both told each other without knowing it that they had married the wrong person, and their true soulmate was the person they were chatting with on the forum.
I get that. That's making more sense to me. It's not that they both tried to cheat on each other. They could have worked that out. It was that they talked a lot of shit about the other person.
So months went by, and they finally realized that they were perfect for each other. They decided to set a time and place to meet in person. The meeting did not go as planned, as they soon filed for divorce.
That's wild. Bosnia, man. Hey, you know what? I'm here to tell you that a lot worse things can happen to you in Bosnia.
Like what?
You get shot.
Is it a pretty bad place?
No, honestly, I'd go. But
that's Russia, right? Bosnia's Russia.
It's close.
Close to Russia?
Yeah. I need a map.
Yeah.
It's not one of the places I wanted to go very terribly badly.
So, what's crazy is, though, Bosnia and Herzegovina? I don't know.
Okay.
Southeast Europe. Where it's at. Close to Serbia, looks like.
Yeah. I don't think it actually is. It doesn't border Russian. I don't think it was part of the USSR.
Yeah.
I think it's too far west. But I might be wrong. I'm not a Bosnian historian. Don't ask me.
Yeah. The map here does not tell me a very good description of where it's at.
Just get on Google Maps.
That's where I'm at. Oh, here it is.
Yeah.
Sarajevo?
Sure.
Okay. Oh, it's like its own little place. Okay, so it butts up to Croatia and Hungary. Mm-hmm. And Serbia. And then south of it would be Montenegro. in Albania. So it's over that region, yeah. Yeah, it's not even close to Russia.
I mean, it's not like crazy, but I think there is like gang violence and stuff in a lot of Eastern Europe.
Oh, I'm sure.
But I mean, obviously, everywhere though. Yeah,
and most people are probably really afraid to come here.
Yeah. Yeah. You're way more likely to get shot in America. I'm going to the Dominican Republic next week, and my dad's like, "Well, is it safe?" I'm like, "Dad, I think I'm way more likely to get shot on the street in Ohio than I am."
Yeah. Maybe not in Walpock, but definitely somewhere.
Maybe not. I don't know, man. It's about to be gun season. I didn't say on purpose, but like I think I'm way more likely to get shot here than nearly anywhere else on the planet.
Yeah. You know, I heard a comedian the other day. He was talking about that hunters are supposed to wear orange now, right?
I thought they have. They always wear.
Yeah. So they have to wear like some sort of orange.
Yep.
But the reasoning for that is so that way people don't mistake them for deer.
Yep.
Last I checked, deer have 4 legs.
I like hiking, and if you're kind of in the woods and you see somebody that's wearing something kind of brown or even kind of camera colored, and you're moving around a little bit, I could see taking a shot at it. It makes, but that's funny. I'm not trying to ruin the joke. That's funny. I'm sorry.
No,
but I get it. I get it. Yeah. I'm with you.
So, but. Going back to this couple here, though, real quick.
That's wild. That's nuts.
I think they definitely should have tried to work it out.
I think so, too. I understand why they didn't, though. It's not that they both tried to cheat on each other.
It's that they let everything out the gate.
I hate this guy. I hate this guy so much. Like,
I don't like
he's
that
such
he snores
a
like
He's
this.
such a
She was probably like, I can't believe, he snores so much at night, and this guy's probably like, I don't do that at all.
Yeah, it's not me. Hey, I've never heard it. I'm asleep.
All he does is just eat fast food all the time. He's like, I don't even eat
He's like
food.
eating McDonald's fries while he types like, I don't even care. Fuck that shit. It's terrible for you. Greek salads and,
he was
kale.
just trying to find a piece. Let's be honest here. The dude was just trying to find a piece. He probably didn't let too much out. Or maybe he did. I don't know.
I don't know.
I'd love to see the chat logs.
I know.
I'd love to see those chat logs.
I don't know what is Bosnian a language. We're going to have to learn it.
I'm sure we can get it translated.
I'll try to learn Bosnian between now and Tuesday, and we could look at it.
Yeah, there's what's this?
I'm fluent in Google Translate.
Yeah, I was about to say, well, what's the other thing, though? Is it Sylvan? No, not Sylvan. That's the learning thing. There's something out there.
It's like for at-risk youth, I think, isn't it? Like fifth graders
I need
that are like
Sylvan to translate this, please. Can we get on this? Call Sylvan.
Google Translate, man. What else is there?
I thought, wasn't Rosa something, wasn't there? Rose?
Are you talking about the Rosetta Stone?
Rosetta Stone, yes. Thank you.
So I think that is a language learning software, which is supposed to be pretty effective, but it's not like take a picture of it and it translates. Like Google Translate is not going to teach me how to speak Bosnian.
I just want to take like maybe 2 classes of Rosetta Stone for Bosnia and see if I can figure out
I'm not
this
even
chat
positive
log.
that Bosnian's a language. It might not be.
You might not. Well, I can find out. I already got it pulled up.
It might be. It might not be. I do not know a lot about Bosnia. I do not really want to go there.
Yeah, their languages
Bosnian.
are Bosnian, Croatian, and Serbian.
Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
I know more about Serbia. But
Serbia
still
cold?
not a lot.
I feel like Serbia is cold. Is it cold?
Warmer in here.
I always felt like every time I hear Serbia, I always think like
Don't show me the map. It's
snow.
It's near the Mediterranean. Is it on the Mediterranean?
Serbia?
Yeah.
It's right
Is
next
it
to
landlocked?
Bosnia.
Is it landlocked?
No.
Yeah, but it's.
Oh yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
But it's near because Montenegro is on the Mediterranean, right?
Yes.
And so if it's cold, it's because it's mountainous. I don't know how far the Alps go. I have no idea, or what other mountain ranges are over there. I'm not going to lie to you. Eastern Europe was not crazy high on my list.
Yeah.
Budapest was probably going to be, which I think is pronounced technically like Budapest, right? Have I been saying it wrong forever? I just recently found that out.
Really? I did not know that. So
that's kind of the place in Eastern Europe I really want to go. And then not a lot else over there. I mean, if somebody was like, "Hey, let's go," I'd go.
I would love to see Italy and Spain.
Yeah, that's not Eastern Europe.
No, but I'm just saying, like if we're talking about traveling,
yeah.
Those are two spots I'd like to.
Both very high on my list.
Yeah,
I don't know a lot about Bosnia. Is my point.
Yeah.
But I don't. If it's not terribly mountainous, then I think it's got to be warmer than here because I think it's pretty close to the Mediterranean.
Yeah, I don't know. Every time I think of like Slovakia, Hungary, Serbia, like I always just think cold weather, and I think Mission Impossible did that to me.
I think they get some cold weather, but I think it's got to be like. So what? Wapakoneta, Ohio is on like the 41st parallel. We're in line with like Germany, right? Is that not true?
I have no idea.
The Mediterranean's fairly warm.
Okay.
Montenegro is on the Mediterranean. It's not far from. It's just on the other side of Montenegro. I don't think it's got. What's the average temperature?
That's a good question.
You're holding a computer.
I know.
I'm over here trying to like do geography to figure out how.
Which place are we looking at? Average temperature where?
Average temperature, Bosnia. If it's cold, I'm saying it's because it's mountainous, but I don't really know.
Average temperature in Bosnia is 81 degrees Fahrenheit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the temperature there right now?
1 second, because I'm looking up Serbia right now. Average temperature in Serbia, 84 degrees Fahrenheit.
Yeah. Average temperature, Ohio.
Cross map.
Okay, sorry. Well, I don't know what our average temperature is because we've got pretty
52
high highs.
degrees.
We've got pretty high highs and pretty low lows.
Yeah.
So there you go. That sounds about right to me. It's near the Mediterranean, pretty warm.
Yeah, I'd like to go over there. But
Same.
we saw we were looking at cruises a while back, and we saw it's like a 3 week. Did I say that right? 3 week cruise in the Western Mediterranean.
There's a Walpaw guy who just did pretty much exactly that.
Oh, really? Did he love it?
Loved it. He said he had a killer time.
Who was it?
Very jealous. Tony Steinball,
Oh,
Albert Jones guy.
Yeah, Tony did that.
Yeah.
Bastard.
Yeah.
He do it with his family then. Mm-hmm. Oh, lucky.
I know he should have adopted me.
Yeah, me too. I'm sure Sarah would love to hear that too.
Right.
So yeah, side note here for everybody, real quick. So me and Collin we're part of this value class, right? That happens once a month. We
for
go
like 9 months out of the year.
Yeah. Once a month we go and we go basically tour different areas of our region.
Businesses.
Yeah,
businesses
industrial and commercial places. All these are businesses.
Very cool. If you're in Auglaize County, it's very worthwhile. Contact your local chamber.
Yeah. So we took advantage of it, and we have been labeled as the troublemakers.
I feel like I blame Treg. I blame Treg, and I blame Nick Warner.
Ben Warner.
Ben,
yeah.
That's a good point. They're both trouble.
Yeah.
I blame Ben. They're getting me into trouble because I'm well behaved.
I don't think so.
It couldn't be me. It couldn't possibly be me.
I mean, I may.
It's probably me. It's probably me.
Ben's mouth gets him in a little bit of trouble.
Ben's mouth does. Like, he kind of says stuff sometimes. I'm like, Ben. Like Brittany is going to hit you.
I kind of I make fun of a lot of things. So everything's funny to me.
I do too.
Yeah. So I'm just like cracking jokes about like shit that I see.
We're the fun people. I look at it as that. We're the people that are talking to other people that we don't know.
Yeah.
We're interacting with others. We're asking questions. We're having a good time.
Yep.
And then everybody else is just kind of sitting there and
watches us. I do feel watched sometimes. But it is what it is.
It's fun.
Yeah.
It's a good time. We may be the trouble group. That is
and Smiley.
I thought that was
kidding. Moving on.
We'll talk more about that another time. I think that Sarah really should be on this, who is the chamber director for the Southwest Auglaize County.
Yeah, she should come on the show. Sarah, if you're watching this, come on the show.
She should come on the show. But yeah, if she comes on the show, we're gonna have to talk.
We'll have our people to call your people.
We're gonna have to talk about. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll dive more into that on that next episode with Sarah when she comes on the show. It is an interesting topic to say the least. But yeah, hey, great first show today.
Hey, thanks, man. Back at you.
Season 2. Social Guys back at it. Love it, man.
Season 2 of 100.
Of 100, yeah, love it. All right, hey, as always, guys, you can find the Social Guys on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, and I think that's it. Yeah.
You could just come sit on the couch and watch.
Yeah, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube. There's another one I feel like I'm missing. But yeah, anywhere you get your podcast, you can find the Social Guys, though. We're everywhere. So, yeah, download us, subscribe, hit the buttons. You know what to do. Hey, Social Guys, we are cashing out over here. Edmund Fitzgerald Porter from Great Lakes. Delicious. Great Lakes, get a hold of us. We'd like to drink some more beer for free. Trey Grains, everybody. Collin Jarvis. We're signing off. Later.